Welcome to Metal Gear 3 Remaster, where every man gets to realize their dream of being a CIA operative with some serious trust issues when it comes to women.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
Snake gets to experience some of the Russian wildlife here with these massive alligators that are surprisingly friendly. Gets so distracted by the alligators that he almost doesn't realize that he's sinking, kind of like the approval ratings of the Trump administration. Then gets smacked by an alligator, but that is all a learning experience because now we're going into Drymuchi Les, otherwise known as the Sleepy Forest, because we'll be putting a lot of people to sleep here. I spent about 10 minutes here in a bush waiting for the right moment to hit this guy with some Philadelphia special trank, knocks his ass right out. There truly isn't a better way of testing this stuff out before releasing it to all the metropolitan areas of America than on some commies in the middle of a Russian jungle to drag him all the way down into the bush and have my way with him, so to speak. I proceed bush to bush like a fucking animal, like a panther sneaking up on my prey. As a CIA operative, you have to be able to not only take advantage of your victims, but also your environment. Finally, I make it to the top secret Russian research facility, and this is where we see the sanctions really come into play because this place is in ruins.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Snake. I mean, the place is in shambles, and it looks like there's not even any research equipment really here. I sneak up on another guy and do a classic takedown, knee to the back. Of course, I gotta take out his buddy. Put them both in the same place. I mean, they're Russians, they don't really matter, so we make short work of all of them. Now, making my way into the research facility, there is a lot of guys. It's getting really congested here, but you know, Snake is a trained killing machine. He's always ready for things to go awry, and as they do here, I get 5 exclamation marks. Everybody's alerted all of a sudden. That M16 I picked up earlier comes handy here. Snake is an absolute bullet sponge. He's taken so many shots before that it's just a tolerance thing really at this point. You take enough 5.56 to the chest, they stop really phasing you. Now, peak Russian training moment here. We got 3 guys standing right on top of each other. The third guy seemingly just looks the wrong way. I mean, Snake might as well be called an FPV drone because he's dropping Ivans like flies. I mean, I'm just doing him a favor. He wasn't even looking the right way. And this clears our way to meet Sokolov. Sokolov explains to me that he actually defected to America with his family, and then the Americans actually just traded him back to the Russians because the Russians were threatening to put nukes in Cuba. However, that doesn't really mitigate the crisis here because the Russians are going to use Sokolov to make even worse nukes that they'll probably put in Argentina instead. But Sokolov pretty much says that he doesn't trust the Americans anymore, and he's kind of fucked with the Russians, but he will trust Snake because, you know, there's no creature more trustworthy than a snake. Well, at least in this case, Snake is a real stand-up guy, unlike
Major Ocelot.
Now, Major Ocelot makes a big mistake here by killing every single Russian in the room and keeping me alive. Now, he calls in his goon squad, or a gooner squad really, because they do jack him off.
What is that stance?
He makes fun of my stance. And they all have a group laugh at me, but you know, as they say in Russia, смеется тот, кто смеется последний. Truly laughing if you get the last laugh, and he really doesn't. So I give him a great view of my crotch. Sokolov gets absolutely flustered and runs off.
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
Major Ocelot now taken care of for at least a good while. We catch up to Sokolov, panicked by the Shady Bridge. It's nothing a few words of affirmation can't fix.
Calm down.
We get interrupted by filthy Russians doing what they love doing most, destroying their own ecosystem using nuclear weapons. We also get a first glimpse at the project that Sokolov was working on.
That's what they were making you build.
Yes, the Shagohod.
Is that thing finished?
No, this is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2.
Then the Colonel gets his hands on it. It will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
The industrial military complex made it clear that the end of the Cold War is not in their interest, so we must prevent the Russians from completing the Shagohod. We all expected the Shady Bridge to be used against us at one point or another, but of all people, nobody expected the boss to be the one.
Boss? What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
And how the tables have turned. Now I am the one sitting under a hornet's nest. In fact, the boss and her gooners are able to use the hornets as a diversion to completely cover up the sound of the helicopter that is 20 feet above us, thus stealing Sokolov right from under my nose. Who are these people that the boss is working with? She even refers to them as
My friends. Let us fight together.
we finally get to meet them.
I have waited long
The
for
fear,
this day.
the pain, the sorrow, the fury, and the end.
Welcome back, boss.
And of course, the worst of them all.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union.
Defecting to the commies is bad enough, but she also gives Colonel Volgan.
Coilless nuclear warheads.
No, boss truly shows off her dommy mommy side by kicking my ass here on the bridge. Maybe it's her way of showing love and affection. That's what I like to think it is, but she does proceed to throw me off the bridge. Throughout that time, the Russians managed to relocate the Shagohod using 5 helicopters.
I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
Ocelot, getting a whiff of that perfume, might become of importance.
I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
With the nuke of an unknown origin going off on Russian sovereign territory, and the Russians getting radar signature from our plane, surprisingly they managed to connect the dots and accuse the American government of setting up the nuke, as opposed to Colonel Volgan. So now Khrushchev is giving LBJ a week to prove that it's actually Colonel Volgan who did it in alliance with the boss. Now, nobody could care less if a nuke went off in Russia, but Khrushchev can't appear weak in front of his people. It's a typical Russian leadership thing, fusing domino effect, because now We're Americans working with the Soviets to find an American who diverted to the Soviets, and in order to do that, we meet up with 2 other Americans who used to work at the NSA and diverted to Russia, Adam and Eve. They should be the men on the inside with Colonel Volgin.
Control. Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet.
I safely land and I find this horse. I don't know whose it could be. Oh, of course, it's the boss's. Classic boss disassembles my gun and kicks my ass. She proceeds to tell me to get the hell out of here or I will die.
If we meet again, I'll kill you.
Luckily, Snake gets to meet Adam soon, or...
The name's Eva.
Now, I'm not the one to talk about red flags here, but I don't think it's ideal when the first question is,
What's your code name?
I guess she could have been joking. Morning comes and we were ambushed by Ocelot's red berets here. I managed to methodically eliminate all of them. I then perform surgery on myself, which is actually pretty cool. I have to use all different tools. My knife primarily to get the bullet out of my shoulder. The animations are pretty gruesome that come with it. And then I get interrupted by the sound of a single action.
I've been waiting for this moment. That's it! That's the stance! I don't think so. What? A female spy? This bitch is wearing perfume.
I see you've got yourself a single-action army. It's a nice gun, I'll give you that. But the engraving gives you no tactical advantage whatsoever. Unless you were planning to auction it off as a collector's item. And you're forgetting one more very basic thing. You don't have what it takes to kill me.
We'll see. This isn't over yet.